The British Parliament's Media Committee has released internal Facebook documents which reveal how the social media site collected and managed users' data.
The records are from a lawsuit filed by the U.S. by app developer 643. Facebook apparently gave preferential treatment to some companies and app developers by allowing them to access more user data than others. So CNET senior producer Dan Patterson is here to talk a little bit about this. So Dan, we knew that the Parliament had these documents, right? But what did we learn so far about them? Do we know anything about what's in them?
Well, it's 250 pages, so we learned quite a bit.
Okay.
It's a pretty compelling read. So we learned not only
Dan would say that about an app lawsuit. Okay.
And our entire investigations unit. We've kind of been scouring these documents.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about Facebook's protocols and procedures. We learned a little bit about what rises to what they call a Zuckerberg-level decision in the company. That stuff is kind of inside Kremlinology. But what we really learned that was interesting was about reciprocity, about how Facebook treats maybe competitive apps and the sharing of user data. We learned a little bit about what the core value, how Facebook sees their core value, and it really is user data. The challenge here is that, of course, Facebook has said time and time again, look, we don't sell user data, and so far there's nothing in there that indicates a direct selling of user data, but selling access to the data is what Facebook is all about.
So what is Parliament saying about how Facebook used this information?
So Facebook used their platform data as well as the API data in a number of ways that, depending on how you read it, could be seen as anti-competitive or could be seen as, hey, this is a growing company determining how and why they kind of want to throw their leverage around. And it is kind of fair to say, hey, look, we have this API, that's the application programming interface, and it's the way that applications and code kind of interoperates with itself and with other applications. This could be internally or it could be externally with competitors. A lot of companies at the beginning of social media treated data as open, right? Twitter didn't even have an app. They said, build an app off our platform. Facebook was a little different and said, hey, there's value in the platform and the customer data who interoperates with our various products. And it's hard to say, well, shutting down API access is bad for their growth. On the other hand, they did appear to selectively allow access to data, and they also seem to be a little loosey-goosey with some access to data long after they indicated that they had shut some apps down.
Well, let's talk about that, because Facebook has argued for a while now, yeah, we knew there was a problem, but in 2014 we fixed it. But the documents here indicate otherwise. So how is Facebook responding to that?
Yeah, the timeline is still a little ambiguous, but it seems as though through Mr. Zuckerberg's various testimonies, as well as Sheryl Sandberg's various public comments on the record, as well as the Facebook newsroom blog, that they kind of shift when they say we shut down access to different applications over time. And what this means is that some apps, Facebook says, hey, if we had been able to shut this down earlier, we knew what was going on, we could have prevented, say, a Cambridge Analytica from happening.
Right.
On the other hand, it seems as though with other apps, they really did give access. So the real problem here, or the challenge here, is that it seems as though protocols and procedures, policies, were not necessarily universally applied, and that creates this weird inconsistency that we're all trying to figure out now.
Yeah.
BuzzFeed is reporting that tensions are boiling over at Facebook because of all the ongoing negative attention. You know, it's not just the negative attention, it's the fact that in many cases you're sort of peeling back the onion and finding out that there are some real problems going on at Facebook, and they start at the top.
Yeah, we're seeing the same thing in BuzzFeed reporting that we've encountered here at CBS News, and that seems it seems as though there are 2, maybe 3 different factions of employees at Facebook. Those who are loyal and kind of remain loyal, and in fact, the quotes in the BuzzFeed story really sound very similar to the people we've spoken to here at CBS News when they say, "Hey, look, it's been almost 2 full years of bad news for Facebook, and at a certain point, you either have to be a complete loyalist or you have to get off the train." And the other 2 camps are figuring out how they relate to, if not getting off the train, but expressing some forms of frustration. And there are private message boards where current and former Facebook staffers operate and exchange ideas anonymously, and those can, again, depending on how you read it, be seen as, hey, every company has its challenges. Employees are always disgruntled. They'll always talk. On the other hand, there seem to be systemic issues where everyone inside the company has an opinion, and many of those opinions are pretty negative.
Yes or no, just a quick prediction, speculation on your part. Will Sheryl Sandberg be at Facebook in December 2019?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. I mean, that means that's what I've been hearing from a lot of analysts too, but it's just good for our viewers to know because a lot of this is bubbling up in the news, but it doesn't seem like she's going anywhere. So, Dan Patterson, always great to have you, man. Thank you.
Good to see you.